And here we are now in the 10X stage, which is the premium stage for Gitex 2020. I'll be hosting tomorrow, and I'll be talking all about cloud and blockchain and edge computing, and having some of the biggest players in the world joining me on the panel and also giving their keynotes. Very exciting stuff. And for anybody who doesn't get there, imagine how powerful it would be to be able to get a TV show that runs all year round with the updates of every single player, every single part of the change in the game. That's what interests me. So you've got the actual event that happens live, you've got the online version of it, but most people stop there and hope that everybody stays intact and alive in time for the same thing next year. Why stop? Why not keep the whole thing going? It could be even more cost effective when you get it right, and it means that when you have this event come together every single year, it stops being a flagship where you have to attend to find out what happened. It becomes a get together where all the people you've interacted with for the whole year, all the people you've watched grow, and you've seen the ups and downs of a soap opera that is tech, can actually meet up and just put a name to a face and do some face-to-face business. That's what intrigues me.
Hello everyone, it's my real pleasure to be here with you today, albeit virtually. But it's fantastic to see in-person events are coming back and becoming a reality. So congratulations Gitex, and thank you for this very kind invitation. Today I want to talk to you about our accelerated future. This year the world of business has been rocked to the core, prompting every industry to reevaluate and ask, does our understanding of our markets, partners and customers still hold true, or do we need to adjust, resize and maybe refocus? Now these are truly energizing but also very challenging times to be in business. For the mobile industry, which has 5.2 billion subscribers and contributes some $4.1 trillion to the global GDP, the arrival of COVID-19 has put us center stage. Now, thanks to the business vision of mobile operators and their long-term investments in mobile infrastructure, we can rely on resilient and secure networks. And thanks to the same networks, industries, organizations and citizens everywhere have taken an accelerated step into the future, our accelerated future. What industry innovation and investment will best serve our accelerated future? Well, we believe the answer is intelligent connectivity, from the combination of 5G, AI, IoT and big data. And as happened with 2, 3 and 4G, the full extent of the transformative value of 5G will only become apparent once it is fully rolled out. Now, over the next decade, we expect a wave of mobile-led technology unicorns from 5G that will drive our future economies. 5G will bring a blue sky for business-to-business and business-to-consumer applications, and will enable enterprises and governments to further change society and impact lives. Today, 106 5G networks have launched in 47 countries, and a further 90 operators have firm plans to launch. 7% of global connections are now on 5G, and more than 200 5G devices have come to market. Operators are expected to invest around $1.1 trillion worldwide between now and 2025, and roughly 80% of that will be in 5G networks. Launching a 5G network requires a serious level of investment in R&D and ideally a solid set of industry fundamentals to be able to afford the investment. In the 5-year view, the US, Korea, Japan, China and a few markets in Europe and Middle East are leading, while the rest of the world is just a few steps behind. Of course, COVID-19 has challenged the rollout of infrastructure and the availability of handsets, all short-term impact, we believe. It's interesting that consumers in South Korea, China and the Middle East currently seem most willing to upgrade to 5G, and we forecast that 20% of the global subscriber base will be 5G by 2025. With a few advanced countries at the very forefront, the US at roughly 50% adoption, Korea and Japan at more than 50%. China will have the single largest 5G base in absolute terms, although its penetration rate will be slightly lower at roughly 30% due to its large and dispersed population. And emerging markets are further out. Now we expect 9% penetration in our accelerated future that we are building together. Thank you.
Matt, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Dave?
Excellent, thank you. The beard suits you, by the way. Lockdown has done good for you. For me, I've been eating pizza and I look pregnant, so you win. Let's get back to business. So I'm talking. I know you can't see me, can you?
Oh, I can see you. And I'm not going to compete with your hairstyle or your beard. It looks like you're beating me in both disciplines.
Yeah, I bet you're taller. Anyway, getting back to business. When we talk about the business opportunities, we're going to be exploring today all the B2B stuff. But what about consumers? Are there opportunities that they're going to enjoy as well?
No, absolutely. And we feel, the industry feel enthusiastic around the opportunities around 5G, as well as we were around 2G, 3G and 4G. 5G will bring us more immersive entertainment, a closeness to products. Just imagine going online, doing e-shopping, where you will be able to take things from the web into your home and look at it, positioning it, and see if it fits nicely, and then put it back on the internet if you don't like it. So I think the shopping experience will certainly be more immersive. Entertainment, as I said, will also be more immersive. Gaming will, with low latency applications, will certainly also have a completely different dimension. So we feel full of confidence for consumers. But as you rightly said, 5G will address business-to-business needs to a larger extent than what previous technology generations have done.
Thank you, it's very exciting. And people talk about 5G as standalone and non-standalone. Can you explain what that means to most people?
Well, yeah, non-standalone means that it's not standing alone. It is together with 4G and other technologies, which gives us good throughput capabilities, but not the ones that we are traditionally talking about. For that case, you need to have a standalone situation where you just build 5G. And with only 5G, you will be able to do a whole array of more stuff, such as network slicing, for instance, which means that we will be able to promise a dedicated network to an industry or to a facility or to a hospital for that matter, really being able to deploy fiber in the air and have that capacity always there for you. Very fast speed up to a gigabit per second or above that, and very low latency down into the single digit millisecond. So it will truly be a real-time experience.
That's very exciting, but one of the things for many people, especially with the economic challenges around the world, will be saying, I love the idea of 5G, am I going to have to spend a fortune on new phones and new bits and pieces to access it?
Well, as always, in the beginning, before scale has kicked in, 5G handsets will be slightly more expensive. That is given. But with scale, prices should come down. And also, it's not only the handset, it is also a whole bunch of IoT solutions. And 5G, again, back to the standalone, have the capability to do massive amount of IoT connections in one cell, up to 1 million IoT connections per square kilometer. So, for business to business, certainly it's very attractive to put a lot of sensors into their manufacturing, their supply chain, to be able to monitor it and manage it in a more effective way. And for us consumers, sure, we will still use our handset, but maybe one or two more IoT devices as well will come our way.
It's certainly a very exciting evolution and change to what we've experienced to date. But for many organizations, they will be paralyzed with the bottleneck of tech, saying, how do I learn? How do I get involved? How can I make most of it? What would you suggest to leaders who need to use this technology and implement it across their different areas of business?
Well, that's a really good question, and obviously there's no one single bullet answer to that. Maybe I should say that the one silver lining of this horrible pandemic has meant that we have all propelled and pushed ourselves into a more digital lifestyle. I think we've all become much more digital fluent, using video conferencing to we don't do anything else, and also using other type of technology. So I think it's learning by doing. It's quite a lot of intuitive technology now. It's much easier to get the new handset and push the SIM card in and then off you go. If you remember some 10-15 years ago, or maybe only 5 years ago, we had this huge manual that you need to study in order to be able to switch on the phone. So the intuitiveness of new technology is certainly going to be more prevailing. So I don't think that skills is necessarily the biggest hurdle. I think if we have a problem, the technology, and there's a technology solution to it, we will be able to absolutely make those two ends meet.
And lastly, I would suggest that because of COVID, the lockdown, the long period of yearning to connect, there's probably a more open world to this change. It maybe will take 5 to 10 years, but people are hungry to see what comes next. So that's going to be a good thing for the industry.
No, absolutely, and I think it has really put us center stage, and I think we feel all fairly proud of the fact that to a large extent all the mobile networks have been up and running, and it has been the nerve center of us continuing to do business, continuing to see friends and loved ones. So it has been so very important that the networks are up and running, and you should know that the data consumption has doubled. By and large globally. But not only that, the way that we use data has changed as well. The peak hour is no longer in the evening, but it's more spread out during the day. Plus, we're using data from our home. Previously, I used it in my office and possibly when I commuted to my office. Now I'm sitting at home, as you can see, and I use all my data sitting at home. So we have to rebuild and reconfigure some of the networks as well. And that has, of course, taken a little bit of a toll on the 5G rollout, but we believe that's only a temporary blip, and we can see a whole bunch of countries and operators now launching 5G. But again, I would like us to say one more thing, that 5G is not a race. 5G, when an operator launches 5G, that operator does it because the timing is right. It's all about market entry. So we should not view this as a race that one country is better than the other. It is more the fact that that country, that subscriber base is ready to have a 5G rollout being happening at that time. So we feel from the industry confident that 5G will bring us a set of new services, new opportunities for consumers, and a whole array of game-changing activities for business to business.
Absolutely, I can easily see in the future, once 5G has worked, there'll be a hologram version of you standing next to me on a stage, wherever we are in the world. That's Granryd, thank you very much. Sorry.
Wouldn't that be great? But then again, I would love to be there in person. Congratulations to Gitex for pulling this off. We from GSMA are so happy that you're having this show. It's great work that you guys have done. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you for joining us. Round of applause, ladies and gents. Granryd. That's Granryd. Brilliant. Take care. Wonderful. That's excellent. And it's also nice to see somebody who's got a very tidy house. After 8 or 9 months in lockdown, mine doesn't go on screen anymore. So we have a lot to get through, some incredible presentations, some really fantastic panels, and a deep dive into 5G, Edge, and Internet of Things. And so that's it from me, we're finally done. All that remains is just to share with you the fact events are back. but they are more hybrid than ever before. People are into technology, they're into the idea of adding digital solutions to what used to be just in person, and they love the idea of being able to stream it worldwide at the same time as actually creating something in-house for those that attend. Until we get the vaccine out to people and people feel confidence coming back, there's always going to be a challenge that there's going to be social distancing or people not wanting to be seen in person. But that's no reason why we can't hold events. That's no reason why you shouldn't think about an alternative to reach more people, create a hybrid realization that events are back big time and you can still drive the successes. I'll share more of you in the future. I look forward to talking to you. I look forward to more episodes of Speak on Stage.
Thank you.